Hey everybody, Jake from P3 here, and we've got a new gauge to present to you. It's a new BMW gauge everybody's been asking for, the Mark V Supra. Our gauge for the Toyota Supra is an OBD2 based gauge, just plugs right into your OBD2 port, reads tons of data, can read and clear codes, has performance timers. And our mounting solution is a little unique. We try to integrate it into the interior to make it look like it belongs there. On this one, it's gonna snap down right on your defrost vent. So jump in the car with me, let's go for a quick ride. We'll go over all the features, let you see what it looks like in the car in action, and you can see that this is a great gauge solution for the Mark V Supra. All right, we're out in the car, engine off, ignition off. You can see that the gauge is off. And we make this as simple to use as possible so you can do everything at a glance, do everything with a quick action. There's only two buttons on the gauge. The right button's gonna cycle through all the settings. The left button's gonna give you a peak recall. You can hold both of those buttons together to get into our configuration menu and then go through all the customizable settings and parameters. You can see more on that in our V3 how-to configuration guide. We'll put that in the description below. But the gauge is gonna come on and off with the engine, not just the ignition in the default settings. So we'll go ahead and start this engine. This thing is extremely loud, but give it a second here, gauge pops on, and now we're reading boost and vacuum. So we've got a little bit of vacuum there, probably from the intercoolers, but we can tap the right button, like I said, just to cycle through. That's gonna remind us the first time we're on boost. Now we're gonna cycle through. We got vehicle speed, battery voltage, RPM with the shift light. So I've got this set really low to like 4,000 RPM right now, and this is what that looks like. Anytime the RPM goes over the desired set point, it flashes like that. You can set that wherever you want. We've got engine oil temperature, intake air temp, EGTs, exhaust gas temp, ignition timing, throttle angle, air fuel ratio, engine coolant temp. This is our intake air temp 1. You will see that the gauge is gonna read multiple readings for the same thing. The gauge has auto detect PIDs. Basically, if it gets a return from the ECU, it's got so many parameters it can read. If the ECU gives you back good data, it's gonna display that as well. So air 1 is gonna be the intake air temp at the mass airflow sensor. And then we should have an air 2, which is going to be your intake air temp at your map sensor. We got some performance timers, 0 to 60 timer. We'll come back to that in a minute. And now we're back to boost. So if we go ahead and we'll get out on the road here and do a couple different features. A nice feature of the gauge is that it does have a peak recall in all different readouts. So right now, if we come up here and make a little baby pull here. So I'm paying attention to the road, not wrecking. I can come up here. Left button, we can see that we made 12 pounds of boost just with the tap of a button. And the way that works is whenever you start your car or whenever you tap that left peak recall button, it's going to clear out the memory. And then from that point onward, it's going to record the highest value created no matter what setting you're in. The performance timers on this gauge are a lot of fun. You can probably get yourself into a little bit of trouble, so make sure you're only doing this on a closed course. But to do the 0 to 60 timer or any of the other timers, we're gonna tap the right button to get to that setting. And now we're on 0 to 60 timer. And the way this works is the gauge is gonna tell you to stop if you have any vehicle speed. Once you stop, it's going to say ready, and then it's gonna give you a perfect reaction time as soon as it registers any vehicle speed. So we're gonna come to a stop here. As soon as we come to a stop, it's gonna say RDY for ready. And now we can launch. As soon as we get to 60, it's gonna stop the timer. Here we go. Oh, dude, this is my first time driving a Supra, and this one, she spiced up a bit. We got a 4.85, lots of wheel spin, we got lots of smoke. That's with traction control. She was setting out sideways. It's a good little drive, but I'm able to keep my eyes on the road, focus on not spinning out, and I can see now that I've got a 4.85 0 to 60 time. That is going to be displayed until I stop the car, and then it's gonna go back to saying ready. To get out of the performance timers mode, we just tap the right button, and now we're right back to our next parameter, which is boost. Last but not least is probably one of the most functional and practical uses of the gauge, and that is code reading and clearing. You don't have to have a laptop or a phone or a dongle or anything in order to do this. You just simply go over to the gauge. You're gonna push both buttons on the display. So it says C, O, and F, that's the configuration mode. And and then it's gonna say DTC, which is diagnostic trouble codes. If you wanna read the codes, you just tap the left button. It's gonna say no code right now because we don't have any, but if you did have codes, it's gonna give you a 4-digit code. That's a powertrain code. Jump on Google, put a P in front of that 4-digit code, and then boom, you know exactly what's going on with your car. If you then fix it, or you know what's going on and you wanna clear the codes, just hold the left button. It's going to say the word hold. Keep holding until that word disappears. You see some dots, and then it says CLRD for cleared, and boom, you're done. You've cleared the codes off the ECU. So whether you call this a BMW or a Toyota, you've got a base model or a GR, we have a plug-and-play solution for your car. Check out the product page, it's in the description below. Even if you've got another car, we make about 90 different models of gauges now. We ship worldwide. Check us out at p3gauges.com. We're also on social media, Instagram at p3gauges, Facebook, Reddit, all that stuff. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. We're a small business, word of mouth, and social media help us immensely, and we really appreciate you guys watching these videos and buying our products. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.